just said recording in progress. Now that's a good sign. I think that
I
means
know
it's
where to go.
working. And we are in communications with a world traveler, a man who's been like all over the globe lately.
Bro,
Hope you were getting some good information on sports while you were away.
David, it's nice to be back. Nice to be back here in sunny old northern Florida. I'll tell you, cold out there in the West Coast, Northwest, across the pond. It's cold. It's cold. But I got my voice back. I don't sound like the Godfather. I don't sound like
You went
Vito
across the
anymore.
you went across
But
the Mississippi, you went across the Missouri, you went across pretty much all the biggies. Get out there.
and then back and then back. But anyway, we're here. We did have a very good bowl season,
Yeah, we
and
really
we're
did
ready
it.
to cap it off. Yeah, we
Apologize to the two people who might happen to watch this podcast, but we were all tied up with a lot of holiday stuff. We were on a roll
crazy.
going in, and we're gonna just not bullshitting here. We're on a roll still, doing pretty good.
That's right. We're gonna knock the shit out of this
The Bulls were good,
Final
really
Four.
good to us. The
And
pros,
remember,
the pros have even been good to us lately. I mean, like,
real quickly, remember, folks, we did really well in college basketball, especially Jersey Dave. So keep it tuned.
yeah,
Get
this
on
year,
there because we're just warming up now. We're going through the
I mean, like
the warm up
last
period.
show we did. I'm not bragging, but I was 2-0 on kickball. I was 4-1 on college and 4-1 on the pros. So I hope everybody took those picks to heart and did something good with them.
That's right.
And that
That's right.
we were
Yeah, our
still
last ones
kicking
that we
ass. We've
picked, we
been
hit a
doing
home
really
run.
well in the bowl game, that's for sure. And
Yeah, we
even the
kicked the
FCS,
shit out of college. We'll have the numbers
FCS,
for
we
you.
did really well too. We had Illinois State the other night, of course. And that was a great game. Which I
Yes.
also have to add that in. It's so much better than a lot of these games. And even though that game was still impacted negatively by the officiating, um, but not so much that it dictated who won and who lost, which it has been doing in some of the other games, some of the bowl games, maybe even one playoff game here. The officiating is horrendous. It's just terrible in football.
What just makes it so boring? It slows everything down. Everything's
Yeah,
on
yeah,
camera.
the whole thing.
College, they
It's
let them
almost like,
play.
yeah, and it's
There's
almost like
probably some,
replay.
especially pass
Not
interference.
helping.
There's probably and some face masks they miss, but they let those boys play, and it moves the game. And I think it improves play because the tempo moves. Players get better, hit holes faster, throw longer passes. All these delays, especially in the pro game. I'm not whining, but I'm whining.
So we've
Just
been on.
saying.
I'm just gonna. We don't really have anything to recap because that was a while ago with the last show that we did. Although we kicked ass that show. And then
Not only that show, if I may interrupt for a second, we're gonna tally up the numbers, but college football we did very well, very well. I'm confident in saying that. Pros has been tough. You've been better than me. I had that one glorious week, and then I went back to
no, you
my,
had a great season. I mean, you came in like 20th place out of 440 people. I mean, come on, that's top 4% and something like that with that many people going on. That's fantastic. You really did well overall. I would say overall in pro picks. Had to pick every game with a gun to our head. You did better than me this year, right? For sure.
I don't know about that, but
Congratulations on that, and you did have that one big win that one week where you took the grand prize, which I told you I've been in that thing for 15 years. I never won a week. I had some good year end finishes as you did this year. You had a really good year end finish. I had two good year end finishes, but I never won a week in that pool.
you cashed
Oh,
in top 10, right?
400 people. Oh yeah, yeah. I was second. I was second a few years ago. I was
Well,
second. I only lost to Atlanta
can't mess with
Falcons,
that.
who
You're,
you
you're
beat
second
this
place
year
at
by one
400 and
game. You beat
change.
you beat Atlanta Falcons, so I have to give you double credit for that. You beat the
Yeah.
guy who beat me for the grand prize a few, what was it, 2, 3 years ago. Anyway, all right.
All
So
right.
kickball is taking an international break. Right now, they're playing a whole bunch of games right here.
I see one right now.
They're not playing this weekend. They're
A
taking
massive.
international break. They got to go play for their countries, World Cup qualifying and whatnot. So anyway, kickball. But there is a cool game tomorrow, and it's this year's top dog against last year's top dog. It's Arsenal against Liverpool. Arsenal's minus 180. The draw is plus 330, and Liverpool is plus 450, if you can believe that.
How the mighty have
It's
fallen?
leading me to believe that even though they are a little bit offensively challenged, especially when they're playing good teams, that Liverpool is still a good team, just not a great team. They've dropped off so far from where they were last year, where they were practically unbeatable.
Unbeatable. They cruised.
But I'm still going to go with this just because I think the draw price and the Liverpool price are telling you that this might not be that competitive a game. I mean, yeah, obviously, Arsenal could win by a goal. Happens more often than not. The most common score in top level soccer is 2-1.
2-1.
The second most popular score is 1-0. And all the popular scores are within a goal of 2-1. Okay, so it's either 1-1 or 3-0 or whatever, all in that realm. Whereas that's not necessarily the case, even in a sport like our ice hockey in this country. There's a much greater variance in the final scores of games than there are in top level European soccer. They really are kind of all in there, and that 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 3-0, kind of realm. That's where they play out. This game probably is going to be on the low scoring side, which scares me a little bit, taking a team minus a goal and a half, but I'm doing it anyway, just because I think it's the best price on the board, and that's Arsenal.
Is this Premier League or is this a tourney?
No, this is a regular Premier League game.
Okay.
They're the last game of this cycle this week. Most of the teams are playing right now. They just started today. A few of them played yesterday. Yeah, they played this midweek thing so that they can go travel and then do this, I think it's basically a 2-week break that's coming up for World Cup qualifying.
2 weeks, not bad.
Yeah, it's
could use 2 weeks.
Another break. Most of these guys are going to be playing somewhere for some country, but the last big game is tomorrow. There's a few games going on right now, but obviously I'm not going to talk to anybody about those, especially the Barcelona Athletic Bilbao game, which is completely one-sided, 4-0 at halftime. Barcelona.
In this case, I shouldn't have mentioned it.
Yeah, don't mention.
Yeah,
it's ugly, it's hideous.
All right, so where are we going?
College football, and I'm going to hand the ball over to you.
No, we're both on the same side. It doesn't matter.
There's a game on Friday. You sure about that?
I'm not sure.
The game Thursday between Ole Miss and Miami. With Ole Miss, I got the number at 3.5. Ole Miss is favored. What do you think?
Ole Miss is not favored, correct?
Oh shit! You're right. I'm sorry. Plus 3.5.
Plus 3.5.
You're going. Oh my god!
Yeah. What do you know?
I gave myself away. I love.
I know. We got a hell of a middle if it is.
They are. And they're not just the dog, right? They're 3.5.
Jesus.
Underdog.
Are they playing with 10? I've been on Miami.
They're not. They are definitely not playing with 10.
I have been on Miami. I learned my lesson. I had Georgia, and I got beat by Ole Miss. And that quarterback, and we're both going to talk about him in a second, convinced me, he's a gamer. He guy. And I know you got something to say with the Lane Kiffin thing, and I agree with you. But I'm on the Rebels. I'm on doing the Rebel yell. More.
When I get home,
you know what this looks like to me? This looks like Michigan basketball 1989 when they shit canned Steve breeder because he made a deal with Arizona State, and Bo Schembechler had become the athletic department chair for Michigan, and he said, "Get the fuck out of here. We want a Michigan guy teaching, coaching Michigan in the tournament," and they ended up winning the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the same thing happening here with Ole Miss. Seriously, I know they're the longest shot on the board right now. To win it all, they're my pick to win it all. I think they win this game, and I think they win the next game. I really do. I think this team is just gonna rub it to Lane Kiffin, Mr. Me, and
wouldn't that be wonderful?
He knows a lot about football. He's got some really
thinks
good
he
players
does.
to go to school there. Yeah, again, another guy who thinks he's reinvented the wheel with reinvented football. He's I'm not crazy about the guy who's taken over, but I think that the team and everything, just like Steve Fisher might not have been the greatest basketball coach who ever lived. I mean, I saw him have some pretty bad games, like a championship game against North Carolina. This guy, maybe he doesn't even end up becoming the full-time head coach for Ole Miss. I don't know. And a couple of things in the game so far that maybe wonder a little bit. I just think that the momentum of the team, just the skill of the team, the fact that they can throw the ball all over the place. The quarterback is really multidimensional, and I just saw an interview with him the other day on television. I think this is important, that he's a kid who really has a good head on his shoulders and said all the right things, not just completely, the pat answers that you would want out of somebody in a sports interview. He seemed like a very intelligent guy, and he's a superior athlete. There's no question about that. I love the way the fact they're also able to run the ball. And the one thing that they had to shore up from the previous editions of Ole Miss football with Lane Kiffin was their defense was terrible. This year's defense is pretty fucking good, and I think it's going to be plenty enough to get pressure on Miami. Kind of curious about everybody being so enamored with Miami right now, where they were lucky to get into the tournament to begin with, in my opinion. I see them more momentum. I get it. Okay, two very impressive defensive games against both Texas A&M and Ohio State. Just think that this Ole Miss team is a little bit different, a little bit more speed on both sides of the ball too. I just think they're a little bit more multi-dimensional.
And they love their intern coach. They love him.
And I gotta take a look at it again. And this is the reason why I flipped on the Georgia Ole Miss game. I told you this. Tell anybody else this. I told you this.
Should have mentioned
it. On the Ole Miss game. One thing that really caught my attention was you do know that when they were playing Georgia the first time around, they were winning that game by 9 points going into the fourth quarter. They were really playing well in the game. And then the fourth quarter got away from them. And they ended up losing the game. It's the only game they lost all year, which a game they easily could have won against one of the best teams. And most people, myself included, at the beginning of this tournament, we're looking at Georgia. And now they're gone. Why are they gone? Because Ole Miss kicked their ass. If they're going to kick Miami's ass too.
All right. Well, I'm with you.
That's a good idea.
All right. We are going to win this together.
I think so. I don't know. Unless you change.
So. We're getting points too. We don't even have to win. We get this game into overtime. We're looking good.
What we want.
I don't think it's going to come down to that.
I would take Ole Miss on the money line for sure. Plus 145, not bad. And you want to win it all, so Ole Miss folks at Miami bet at Hard Rock Bet. Ole Miss is the longest shot at the board at 5.5 to 1.
Yeah,
You can do a lot worse. You could do a lot worse.
Throw a little bit on that before they,
Yeah.
they're only going to win 2 games. That's
Right.
I'm
Right.
going to have to win. They can beat any one of these teams.
Yes, they
They
can.
beat Miami, even though they're the dog. I think they win this one. Not going to say easily. Just going to say they're going to win. All right. Let's move on to the next game. Who do you like?
You know, you gotta love this Indiana story. The money's coming in on Oregon. I'm leaning toward the Hoosiers. Hoosiers? No, I don't know. Gene Hackman's whispering in my ear. Don't let the gate hit you on the way out of the revolving gate. Well, that's a little quote out of Hoosiers. But I was with Alabama, to be honest with all you folks, and I got spanked. I'm just impressed with everything, especially, their defense, which doesn't get the credit. It's all about the quarterback, and their run game, which is really good. So the line is down. I don't know where you have it. I got 3.5 minus 115. And I'm going with Indiana.
Well, we are concurring. I concur.
Good.
Concurring on both games. They handled them out there. They handled them in Oregon's home joint, which is a tough road trip for Indiana to make. I think it might have been on Oregon, but that was a tough trip, and they got it done. And I just feel like their defense is really being underrated.
Nobody talks about
they don't talk about their defense enough. Their defense has played so well. The only games that have been close for Indiana this year have been relatively low-scoring games. The game against Penn State, game against Ohio State. They haven't been these shootouts. They haven't been kind of track meets. They've been getting it done with defense, and I like them to get it done with defense again. I think that
to your point,
business. I know we got to lay a few points, but
but to your point, brother, the last game in Oregon, they were up by 7, and your pal there, Mendoza, threw a pick 6. Oregon tied it. What did they do? They scored 10. They outscored them 10-0. And there's your defense. In Oregon, they just said, "Okay, no mas."
Yeah, even with a horrendous play that could, ruin your season. Really, right? A pick to tie the game up. Instead, they kind of regroup. I mean, everybody's extolling the virtues of this coach with Indiana right now, and I think he deserves every bit of it. Every bit of it. Thinking of a team that, come on, our whole life it's been Indiana basketball school.
And you and I, Chicago, we know that. We know, right? Yeah.
And now they're just playing so well. And the biggest thing about this team is I know they could throw. I know they got the Heisman Trophy winner. I know they have some really good, and they don't just have one good receiver. They got a few of them. These guys are good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good receivers, really good running game with 2 running backs. They don't just rely on one guy. They got 2 really good backs. I mean, this team has a ton of talent. The biggest thing to me is the defense. And I think that's what's going to show up on Friday against Oregon. They're going to shut these guys down more or less. I don't really see a shootout here. I don't see it at all. I see kind of a tougher low-scoring game. I think maybe both games. With the fact that I think both of my sides, a dog in the first game and a favorite in the second game, are a little bit more balanced. A little tougher on defense, and defense prevails.
I'm with you, Dave. I mean, I know we don't like to hear program or coaching, but you got to love that coach, I mean, he keeps everybody even keel.
Amazing Johnny.
Yeah.
Even when they're winning big, he gets so upset about everything. He's always on him. He's always on him. Say, hey, don't start patting yourself on the back.
Got a little Parcells really in him,
Working. Right, exactly.
And
I've seen
All
better
the
than
kids,
you.
yeah, they believe in him for sure. So we're both on board with the NCAA
Yeah,
semifinals.
showing dog
We're
favors.
taking and we're giving.
Let's see what happens. All right, let's move on to the pros
Now,
over.
the true
Starting on
challenge.
Saturday. These games
Sharpening up my
are
darts.
rough. Actually, I was going to talk a little bit about teams versus the spread in the NCAAs, where some of the best teams are now gone. Teams that were unbelievable. I mean, Texas Tech, before they got knocked out here, they were 12-1 against the spread.
Tell me about it, bro.
And they
I was
got
the
it.
one
They
tooting
got
their
it.
horn. I
They
was
got us
wrong.
both. That was our one hiccup really here in the pro was that Texas Tech game.
Honestly,
Anyway, so they will bounce back from that.
all right, how we
We
doing
got
on
a
time?
little bit
Good?
of going on here. Yeah, we got 20 minutes. All right, we got to kind of motor through these six.
We're doing all six, folks. All six.
The first game, I'm looking at one of the top teams against the spread in the league this year is the Los Angeles Rams. Not only are they good against the spread, but they have a tendency to cover kind of easily. And everybody's talking about how can this line be so big? How can this line be so big? Because they just lost to Carolina a few weeks ago. Well, the reason it's this big is I think Rams are going to take care of business. I like the Rams minus 10.5 over Carolina. The Carolina story comes to a screeching halt here. The fact that they had a win and get in game against a crappy team, actually, Tampa Bay, and they couldn't do it, I think speaks volumes about where Carolina is much better than they were the last few years, which was basically the worst team in football. So, yes, they were much improved this year, but they still got a long way to go. The game against Tampa Bay, I think was a little bit embarrassing that they ended up losing that game to a team. Not only, and as I'm looking at the spread records for teams this year, the worst team in the NFL against the spread this year. Do you know who it was? Have any idea who the worst team against the spread was? They were 5-12.
The Jets.
No, Tampa Bay Bucks. Worse than the Jets. Yeah, worse than the Jets. Jets had a few covers at the beginning of the year. Didn't have any at the end of the year. That's for sure. But anyway, Tampa Bay Bucks, worst team against the spread, 5-12. Carolina could not beat them in a win and get in situation at the end of the season. I think the Rams are going to roll minus 10.5.
Well, we're both on board there because, yeah, like you say, they wipe out teams. And, unfortunately, we've been on Carolina a lot. It's like ping pong. One good week, yes. One good week, no. This could be a shutout. I really think so. I think McVay is going to have these guys ready. I'm with you. I concur. I'm with the L.A. Rams, formerly St. Louis Rams.
And a team coming out of what was probably the strongest division in football. I don't even think there's any argument about that.
I agree.
The Niners and the Rams, and you come out with the record that they had and beating both those teams. I like the Rams a lot here, and Carolina coming out of the worst division in football.
And you've been on Carolina. You've backed them. They've actually been pretty good to you, not to me. To you.
And I like them. I really like them. Ever since they kind of stopped the Jets there, or kind of early in the season, maybe like 6-7 games in, they stopped it. I watched that game, and I was like, wow, these guys are playing ball. They stuck with this quarterback. They're running the ball well. But when it came down to playing a team that had a lot of injuries, Tampa Bay, all you got to do is beat them and you win the division. They had to rely upon Atlanta to win the game the next day, and that almost didn't happen. They almost didn't get in. So, and I know it's happened in recent years, especially where these goofy teams that have gotten in by pure chance have ended up making noise in the first round. I do not see that here. I see the Rams taking care of business and pummeling these guys. And obviously they better, a big favorite. You'll never see me take a 10.5. My favorite on
No,
in
no.
the NFL playoffs, but I'm doing it in this game because Carolina's in a little bit of trouble here. Oh, all right. We're taking too much time on these games, unfortunately. So now we got.
All right. Give us the next pick.
All right. Next game is the Green Bay Packers are at the Chicago Bears. The Packers are favored by 1.5, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. 1.5 over the Bears at home. Everybody's hot to trot on the Bears now. Their defense is just so shaky to me. I'm going Packers. Going Packers minus 1.5.
Doesn't
I
sound
know
like
they
you're
lost their big
too
gun on
convinced
defense.
about that.
No, this is a really tough game. Really tough game. But I think the Packers overall just have a better squad on both sides of the ball. That Bears defense is good. Doing it with mirrors all year. Maybe they do it with mirrors again. Not the kind of game where I would really, heartily endorse. I wouldn't endorse the Rams that much either. Minus 10.5 on the road. Certainly wouldn't endorse the Packers minus 1.5 on the road, but I'm going with the Pack over the Bears.
Well, I've been against the Bears and pro Packers, but
Right.
they've lost their last 4.
Yeah.
They've lost the mojo. I mean,
Yeah, the last game was a total give up.
Okay. Then they lost their last 3. They beat the Bears before that,
Yep.
but it's going to be a tight game. I think the Bears win their first playoff game in a long time. I got the Bears. I'm not really hot on them.
Team. I'm shocked.
We'll go for a pizza. Yeah, I know.
The gambling is going on in this establishment. Okay.
A
You're
couple
winning,
thousand less
sir.
than I thought.
A couple
All
thousand francs less than I thought. Okay. All right. Next game. That's Saturday's action. Those 2 games. And good games. I got to admit. And they're really tough to handicap.
Good Saturday. Yes.
So I'm going to rip through them.
All right. Here we go. Here's the game that I want to hear. Who you like?
Buffalo and Jacksonville, huh? All right. Here's the thing. I think the ship has sailed on Buffalo. Yeah. I think their defense stinks. I think Jacksonville has been playing pretty good on both sides of the ball. I know they're in kind of a crappy division, but who is in a crappier division than Buffalo? I mean, come on. You get to play the Jets twice. You get to play Miami twice. New England was good. And they probably should have lost to New England twice. They lost to them at home when they were dominated in that game. And then they were up. They had to come back from 21-0 down, which I think says more about New England not being that great than it does about Buffalo being any kind of team that's going to go anywhere this year. Yeah, I love Josh Allen, blah, 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 blah. I'm going Jacksonville plus 1.5 at home against the Bills.
How could you, and I've been against them. Remember, I was talking about Jacksonville being the top team in the beginning of the year, and then they failed me. Then I threw them out, and they came back and slammed me right in the head. They're the hottest team in football right now.
They're pretty hot.
Yes, but their defense is what's getting it done. Trevor Lawrence is playing good and everything. Yeah. But unless Josh Allen has a great game, that team, I don't trust them, and especially that defense. I'm with you. I'm taking Jacksonville.
Right.
I actually like them very much.
Might be on the other side of that one, but I like that.
I debated, but I'm going down the street. They're right down there, 4 hours away.
Team. That's your local team.
Yeah.
Very nice. Gulf Coast.
Me and all the
you got 10 minutes.
By Berliner. All right. Here we go.
4 games.
Let's go. Last 3.
Plenty. 3 games. 3 games. Oh, plenty of time. All right. The next game on the Sunday schedule
tough one
is the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles at home because they are the division champs against the San Francisco 49ers. I got Philly laying 4.5 in this game.
Yes.
I'm going with the champs. I'm going with the favorite again. Now this is 3 out of 4 games. I got the favorite. Trouble. But I know Philly has looked vulnerable all year. I kind of think it was like, yeah, we got this division in the bag. Look at the three teams, the Dallas, the Redskins, and the Giants. They were kind of like just coasting and just kind of like, all right, let's just get it together for the playoffs and we'll be fine. Granted, this is a little bit of a tough task. First game out of the box, San Francisco. But I feel like San Francisco's defense or to show their true colors a little bit at the end. And then in a game where, they needed it, they were at home to have home field throughout the playoffs in the NFC, and they couldn't handle the Seattle Seahawks. And I know Seattle's a fairly decent team. I'm willing to give Seattle credit, all the credit in the world, except for the fact that they got a shitty quarterback. But Seattle is a good, solid team with a good defense. But San Francisco had it all laid out there for them, and they couldn't do it. Now they got to come all the way to the East Coast against the defending champs. I think the defending champs are going to take care of them. I think Saquon's going to run wild. I think they just control the game and take advantage of the fact that San Francisco has had those injuries all season long that have really been hurting them. And I think it comes back to haunt them here at the end. Philly -4.5.
Go for a pizza. A pizza.
Oh boy, here come the Niners.
I mean, I've been on Philly, and I can't say you're wrong. I mean, total yards 173 against Seattle at home. Their worst offensive output of the year.
They couldn't be stopped against a couple of these teams before that. They couldn't be stopped against the Bears. I think they punted maybe once.
They're 7-2 on the road. The only thing that concerns me is long travel, but they do travel well. Better coach. I'm not sold on the Eagles, and I'll take the points. I think the Eagles might win by 3, maybe 4. I'll take that hooky dookie.
Yeah, the points are a little scary.
Yeah,
but it's actually kind of one of the reasons why I kind of like the Eagles here, because people have been too hot on the Eagles. They've been costing people money lately. Not playing well. They show up in that last game. Yeah, I kind of look at that number and it makes me think they're begging you to take San Francisco, but you're taking them.
I got to
respect that. We actually have 2 pieces on the line here now. The battle,
all right.
The battle for the Midway, the battle.
All right, as we head to the Northeast.
Yeah. Okay. Now we go. All right.
Now we get down to nitty-gritty.
New England at home. The surprising New England Patriots, who I liked last year. Remember at the beginning of the season, I thought they were going to be good, and they were horrible. Now, this year,
you're a year ahead of your time.
At any point, but they played well. Terrible division. Anyway, you got the Dolphins twice, Jets twice, but the Chargers are my sleeper team in the playoffs. I like the Chargers. I like the coach. I like the quarterback. I like the fact that they play good defense. I think this number is telling you something, that they expect it to be a fairly tight game, and I do too. I think it's going to be tight, and I think it's going to be a game that actually the Chargers come out on top. Chargers +3.5 over New England.
Man.
You gotta go with the lightning bolts.
Slap it on. I love San Diego Superchargers, but there's something missing this year. I think it's going to be really tough for a rookie quarterback his first. Blah da 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 da. But that Chargers loss at home against the Texans.
Second-year quarterback though. Drake.
Second year. You're right. But first playoffs.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think that's huge here.
The Chargers had
and he's got to go up against a good defense.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm taking New England. Yeah, I know we're tight on time, so I'm taking New England. I'm hoping it comes down a little bit, maybe 3.5. I'm going to watch and see, but I'm taking New England. I think they got enough to put this team that's very injured. Their offensive line is still very injured. And there's no better warrior than Justin Herbert. But I just think New England's got it clicking. I think they're better than the Chargers, maybe 6 points better. So I'm going with the Pats.
Pizza. We got
Pizza,
a bunch
pizza.
of pizzas going
The-
here. A lot
Jim
of pizzas on
Nance.
the line.
Jim Nance and Randy Vataha and Jim Plunkett. They're going to resurface.
It'd be hard to sweep. It'd be hard to sweep this with
Yeah.
Gulf Coast Dave. All right, one more. We got a good cozy 4 minutes left, so we motored right along there. Not talking too much about. Let me look at. Let's see something. Right now, I'm looking at the.
All right, bring us home, Dave.
Now, if you can give me 2 out of the top 3 teams in the NFL against the spread this week, you win. You win a pizza right off the bat. The top 3 teams against the spread were all 12-5. They're all in the playoffs. That ought to make it easier.
Playoffs? Wow.
They're all in the playoffs.
Wow. I should know that being in the business here.
I know you're always looking at this stuff too. All right, I'm going to give you the 3 teams. It's the Rams, Jacksonville, and Seattle. With New England close behind at 11-5-1. I guess they had a push at some point in the season. Also, those teams are pretty good at. They have the biggest differential between the spread and their actual margin of victory.
Okay.
Believe it or not, well, no, maybe not believe it or not. Seattle having the best of all. Jacksonville having the second best against the spread plus minus, which they average almost 7 points better than the point spread for the given game, which is pretty good. Seattle's actually 7.1, more than a touchdown. The Rams a little bit lower, 4.1, but still 12-5 against the number this year. And then New England coming in at 11-5-1. Surprisingly to me, the Eagles are actually right up there with the other teams, 4 teams in the playoffs. Every one of these teams in the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The top 8 teams against the spread are all in the playoffs. Not surprising. Do well against the spread. You're probably doing pretty well in the game themselves.
No doubt about it.
But anyway, so
especially for favorites.
So the last game on the board, Houston -3 against Pittsburgh. We got a minute and a half left. Dude, this is simple handicapping. I'm not getting too concerned with anything. I'm looking at defense. I'm looking at the much better defense with the Houston Texans over the Pittsburgh Steelers with a quarterback who, come on, he's ancient. He has trouble moving. I know he occasionally steps up in the pocket and he gets one off. I love this matchup. I think Houston -3 against Pittsburgh. I know they're a little bit of a popular pick right now, but that's who I'm taking. Houston, honestly.
Why is the spread so low? I mean, Houston.
Pittsburgh at home. Pittsburgh at home.
Yeah, but
they got in with their big miracle win at the end of the season.
Miracle. Both those teams are terrible. Miracle wins. They just lost to the Browns. They only scored 6 points in Cleveland.
Yeah.
I mean, so what? They beat
I didn't
Detroit.
like them against the Ravens, but they managed to win it. Okay,
They swept the Ravens. That should say something about that. Yeah, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. I think this looks too easy. I'm scared, but yeah, I'm with you.
Beautiful. Dave and Dave signing off. You got them all. Bunch of pizzas on the line. 3 pizzas on the line.
Just
together around college, and we're looking at Arsenal to win by more than a goal tomorrow. Okay. Adios, amigo.
Adios.